All right, let's begin. So I would like to welcome you all to my birthday. And I actually don't have a problem with telling you guys my birthday, my age. I'm 36. But yeah, I would like to welcome you all to my birthday. And before we begin, I want to let you all know that I don't know half of you half as well as I should like. And I like less than half of you half as well as you deserve. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Oh. Sorry, I thought it would be funny to give that part of the Bilbo speech. I actually like you all very much, but I'm funny like that sometimes. All right, I'm just going to go ahead and get us started real quick here. Remember, if you are not performing, mute yourself. Morning sun, I'll be sitting in the evening calm, watching the ships roll in, and then I watch them roll away again. Oh yeah, I'm sitting on the dock of the bay, watching the tide roll away. Oh, sitting on the dock of the bay, wasting time. Left my home in Georgia, headed for the Frisco Bay. I've had nothing to live for, and look like nothing's gonna come my way. Oh, I'm just sitting on the dock of the bay, watching the tide roll away. Oh, sitting on the dock of the bay, wasting time. Look like nothing's gonna change. Everything still remains the same. I can't do what 10 people tell me to do, so I guess I'll remain the same. Sitting here resting my bones, and this loneliness won't leave me alone. These 2,000 miles I roam just to make this dock my home. I'm just sitting on the dock of the bay, watching the tide roll away. Oh, sitting on the dock of the bay, wasting time. So that was my first song of the evening, Sitting on the Dock of the Bay by Otis Redding. Thank you everybody for your very, very wonderful and super beautiful words of encouragement. I would like to encourage everybody to leave such words of encouragement in the chat. That is how we can talk to each other. So you can put your actual microphones on mute when you are not performing. Let's see, I believe that's all the announcements I have for you so far. There will be more announcements later. I like to spread them out, it's fun. Thank you, Chrissy. Thank you everybody who thinks I look cute today. That makes me happy. So before I move on to the next performer, I have one more song for you guys. Here we go. Actually, no, I like it up here. We're gonna go up here. Yeah. Well, sometimes I go out by myself and I look across the water. And I think of all the things, what you do. 'Cause since I come on home, well, my body's been a mess. And I miss your ginger hair and the way you like to dress. Won't you come on over? Stop making a fool out of me. Why don't you come on over, Valerie? Valerie, Valerie, did you have to go to jail? Put your house on up for sale? Did you get a good lawyer? I hope you didn't catch a tan. Hope you found the right man who'll fix it for you. Are you shopping anywhere? Change the color of your hair. Are you busy? Did you have to pay that fine? You was dodging all the time. Are you still dizzy? 'Cause since I come on home, well, my body's been a mess. And I miss your ginger hair and the way you like to dress. Won't you come on over? Stop making a fool out of me. Why don't you come on over, Valerie? Valerie, Valerie, Valerie. Well, sometimes I go out by myself and I look across the water. And I think of all the things, what you're doing. And in my head I paint a picture. 'Cause since I come on home, well, my body's been a mess. And I miss your ginger hair and the way you like to dress. Won't you come on over? Stop making a fool out of me. Why don't you come on over, Valerie? Valerie, Valerie, Valerie. Why don't you come on over, Valerie? Thank you, everybody. All right, so now that I have done my first music, it is going to be time for us to go ahead and cut my lemon tea cake. So let's see, first, what?
I love
it's cake.
You should cut the cake as part of our open mic night experience.
Okay, well, then we will get ready for that while Matthias goes on. Matthias, are you here?
He had been coming in and out. Are you in? Yay!
Yeah, my phone died earlier. Is the sound quality good, I hope?
It might be better on the instrument. Your voice is a bit staticky.
Okay.
Yeah, that's not a solid connection.
Matthias, if we put you a little bit later, will you still have light?
Yeah, it's just I'm on my cell phone. My other one died. It's not charging. Yeah, if I can get a better connection later, we can try.
Yeah, why don't we try to work on your connection a little bit, and I'll put you a bit later in the show if you don't mind. Is that okay with you?
Yeah, your voice is really staticky too. I think the
I'll
problem is.
all right. So I'm gonna I will go ahead. I'll put you after Sadie. If that's all right. She's the next person up, and then we'll see if you're available when she's done. See how your connection is then. Does that work?
Let's do
That's
it.
fine. Well, I guess it's better if I'm inside then. Okay. Let me get situated in the house here because all of a sudden that's better.
Yeah, let's go ahead and move on and see if he can like log off and log on again.
Okay, wonderful. All right. So, Sadie, are you ready?
Yes, ma'am. Happy birthday.
Thank you, dear. All right. I will go ahead and pass it over to you.
Thank you. So, I haven't met you really very much. We've only met a couple of times, but I know you love nerdy things, and I love nerdy things. So I chose one of my favorite nerdy things and picked a couple of songs from it, so I hope you like them. Isn't this such a beautiful night? Whoa. We're underneath 1,000 shining stars. Isn't it nice to find yourself somewhere different? Whoa, why don't you let yourself just be wherever you are? Look at this place, look at your faces. I've never seen you look like this before. Isn't it nice to find yourself somewhere different? Whoa, why don't you let yourself just be wherever you are? Look at this place, look at your faces. They're shining like 1,000 shining stars. Isn't it nice to find yourself somewhere different? Whoa, why don't you let yourself just be wherever you are? Why don't you let yourself just be somewhere different? Whoa, why don't you let yourself just be whoever you are? Yay! Okay, so that's the first one. If anybody didn't know, that was from Steven Universe. Rebecca Sugar is a hell of a songwriter, and I love that show because it is the gayest cartoon ever, with maybe the exception of Now She-Ra, which has probably surpassed it in gayness, and I'm super psyched.
That was really cute.
Thank you. I really love this show, and I really love her music. So I have one more. It's also pretty short, but it's a little bit more of a little bit more gets you in the soft places. So, all right. If I could begin to be half of what you think of me, I could do about anything. I could even learn how to love. When I see the way you act, wondering when I'm coming back, I could do about anything. I could even learn how to love like you. Love like you. I always thought I might be bad. Now I'm sure that it's true, 'cause I think you're so good. And I'm nothing like you. Look at you go. I just adore you. I wish that I knew what makes you think I'm so special. If I could begin to do something that does right by you, I I would do about anything. I would even learn how to love. When I see the way you look, shaken by how long it took, I could do about anything. I could even learn how to love like you. Love like you. Love me like you. Okay. Happy birthday, beautiful.
I think we're all
Thank
so
you.
enamored. We are like, oh, we'll just stare at Sadie now. I don't know why I have to do it in this accent, but I feel like I need to stare at you, Sadie, now.
Yes,
I know why.
that was really lovely.
Thank you.
That was really, really, really lovely. I was staring at you the way I'm also staring at my Yorkshire puddings.
That is a compliment of the highest order, I thank you.
You're welcome. All right, let's see if Matthias is available again. If not, we'll just keep moving him down until we can get him. Matthias, are you there?
Okay. Yeah. Hello, I hope this is better. I'm inside. I'm waiting to my wife, my daughter, so. Is that better? I hope.
It's coming in pretty staticky.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just sounds like static.
Yeah, it almost sounds like electro funk, but I don't think that's what you're trying to go for.
It would be good in like Stranger Things, and I'm not even being funny. Like I'm like it's kind of awesomely creepy.
Yeah, no,
It's impressive he can make that sound like music.
Cool. Okay, well,
Yeah, it sounds.
I'll make a video here of my pieces and then post it later. I really want the sound quality to be good. If it's not working, then I don't know what the problem is. This is my second phone. My first one died, so I don't know what happened. So thanks. I'll make
Yeah,
a
if
video
you.
later.
Yes, if you want to make a video for us and post that in the group, I would definitely watch it, and I think most of the rest of us would watch that too, because we really, really like to hear you perform.
It's really like our favorite thing. So
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a shame 'cause I wrote a new little piece for the birthday here, and I wanted to show that off. So.
Okay.
If you record it, send it to me, and I'll make sure we share it with the group.
Yeah, I would love to hear it.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Matthias. Thank you. Thank
Hey,
you.
everybody.
Thank you for that too. Thank you. So, Movie Matt, are you available next? I
other
asked and then
Matthew, correct? You looking for Matthew
George
Thatcher?
Thatcher? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
With
Matthew
a mouthful
Thatcher.
of Yorkshire pudding.
Okay, so let me
I'm
see.
sorry.
Ah.
Not having good luck
he
with
not
that
Okay, I
today.
don't see him. So he's not in the room. Let's move on to our dear friend, Chrissy.
Chrissy! Serenade me like the beautiful songbird you are.
I will try. I have to crank the volume again, but before I actually sing this, I need to explain it because it's kind of a performance piece, and I'm not going to do the performance part of it because it'll look really stupid without the other person there. So Monica's Waltz is from Giancarlo Minotti's one-act opera called The Medium. And it is a very heavy opera. It's usually performed with a Mull and the Night Visitors because it's so dark and heavy. And in the scene where this song takes place, Toby, who is the servant boy who is mute, is doing a puppet show for Monica, who is the daughter of the medium. And for those of you who are in the SCA and have heard me do my morning cries, this is the song that those morning cries are based on. So the introduction is very, very short for the accompaniment that I have, so you don't have to listen to like the however many measures of the puppets dancing around. But then as she goes through it, there's gonna be a dramatic change in the music where it's gonna sound like somebody's trying to say something, but it's not coming out. And she starts talking to Toby, and then because he's trying to tell her something, and then she realizes what he's trying to say, and she'll say the phrase, kneel down before me and now tell me. And then that's where it goes into this whole thing where she's behind him and she's moving his arms and singing for him. And then she'll let go of him and go and say her part, and then she goes back to him. The music is dramatically different between the two parts, so you'll figure it out pretty quickly. And then there's the ending. So this piece actually makes me cry when I listen to it, when I see it, but when I sing it, it's fine. Mostly because I'm not doing all of that. So let me jack up my volume and back up. Do remember this is a modern opera, so it sounds weird.
That was beautiful.
Absolutely
Oh, and look, you got dinner in the
amazing.
background too.
I think
I was frantically looking up Menotti the whole time.
those notes
Right? That was
and
amazing.
like Sondheim for opera was impressive. All right.
It was very impressive.
What do we have next, dear sweet Danielle?
Ah, dear sweet Ghislaine, we have Matthew next. Movie Matt. Movie Matt, are you here? I know you were here. You were just here.
There he is.
I am.
There he is. Yay. All right, let's give it up for Movie Matt.
Yes. I promised you I'd give you a Star Wars song, and here it is. Long time ago, so long, long ago, so far away, in a galaxy far, far away, but not that far away, I found love. I came from Tatooine, a planet in the outer rim, a desert planet with simple life, so boring and so grim. I yearned for adventure, a life beyond this big old rock, to fight the Empire, join the rebels and their stalk. And then I saw her lovely holographic face, a face so wondrous and beautiful, as all the stars and galaxy combine. I had to save her, to help her cause and save the day. Her message made it so, I had to go. Her voice made it so. When she said, "Help me, Obi-Wan, you are my only hope. Please help us, Obi-Wan. You are our only hope." And then I rescued her and saved her alliance that same day. We had more adventures, like saving Han along the way. Then when my dying mentor said, "There is another Skywalker," then I had to ask Obi-Wan, and he answered, "The other," he said, "is your twin sister, Leia." Is anyone else sensing a disturbance in the Force right now? Because I'm feeling tremors all over the place. At last I found true love, only to find that Leia was my twin sister. I guess I found true love, just not the kind I had in mind. I don't know what the writers were thinking. Were they on drugs or what are they drinking? At the time they came up with this awful plot hole of an idea. Oh, help me, Obi-Wan. Where is my only hope? There must be some kind of mistake in a galaxy where all was at stake. Where many random women in a galaxy, the one I kissed is related to me. I thought I'd found true love, except that she is my twin sister. Perhaps I found true love, just not the kind I had in mind. I don't know what the Force was reading. Was the dark side misrepeating while the light side was depleting, as we were all emotionally bleeding? Help us, Obi-Wan. You are our only hope. There must be some kind of mistake. There must be some mistake I cannot shake. Something wasn't deep within the wake. It is not so. I dare not go, but it is so. But now we know. At last we found true love. Only that we were both brother and twin sister. Well, maybe we found true love. Just not the kind we planned in mind. We don't know what George Lucas was thinking, was dreaming. Was he just over masturbating, fantasizing on this plot hole of an idea? I guess we found love, brotherly, sisterly love. We found love.
Woo!
Matt, you introduced me to that song like back in high school. I completely forgot about it.
Over here.
And I'm like, I've been over here losing my shit on mute. So. Well done.
I was wondering if you were going to show up.
A little birdie might have reminded him about tonight. A song birdie.
Good.
So
Yay.
that was awesome, Matt.
Well done, Dodger.
I know you have something else prepared, but
Yes.
I didn't realize you had two things when you asked me the question of whether or not it would be too long.
Okay.
So still want you to do it, but I thought, would you mind if we kind of waited till we got further along in the rotation and came back to you?
Yes, absolutely, yeah.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
All right, yeah, we could do that. All right, I can definitely put him later. Pristine, are you ready? Rudaba, are you ready?
Yes, I am ready.
Excellent. Wonderful. Let's give it up for Rudaba.
Oh, okay, great. Thank you for that wonderful Star Wars song. I'll bring us back to Earth. For on this island, the Earth sings as soon as the storm ends. And as Timoon set out, she realized she was walking with old friends. The birds, cuckoo, 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 sha, sha, sha. The trees, sha, sha, sha. Bum, bum, bum. The frogs, bum, bum, bum. And the breezes, ooh, 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 ooh. Timoon lost all her fear. She knew Asaka was near. You've never been away from the sea, child. You're gonna need a helping hand. A fish has got to learn to swim on land. Ha! Walk with me, little girl, don't you be afraid. Follow me, little girl, let me be your guide. A pretty thing like you will need a thing or two, and whatever you need, Mama will provide. Oh, down the road, little girl, you may lose your way. All alone in the world that may seem too wide, but sit on Mama's lap, and I will draw a map, and whatever you need, Mama will provide. I'll provide you moss to soften the road, rocks to sit on, trees to sleep underneath, sand, fun for your toes, plantain to fill up your belly, breeze to fan your face, grass for making your bed, mosquitoes? Huh! Bugs will bite, little girl, and the night will fall. All alone in the dark, you'll be terrified, but you'll make it through, 'cause I am liking you, and whatever you need, Mama will provide. Oh, walk with me, little girl, I'll take you far. Round each bend, little friend, I'll be by your side. That's what a mama's worth, to give her child the earth, and whatever you need, Mama will provide. Mother Earth is a very widely known figure. However, have you ever heard of Mother Sea? Matsu, meaning mother in the Hokkien dialect, is a Chinese marine goddess. Matsu was believed to be born on the Meizhou Island in Fujian County, Fujian, on the 23rd day of the 3rd lunar month in 960 AD. Mazu's family was renowned among their fellow villagers for charity and generosity. By the time the father was in his mid-40s, the couple had several children, but the fact that none of them was a girl worried them very much. After all, who would take care of them in their old age? Therefore, they prayed the Buddha for one. Eventually, the Bodhisattva Guan Yin, one of the highest entities in Buddhism, answered their prayers by giving the wife a pill in her dream. A few days after the mother took the pill, she became pregnant, and on the 23rd day of the 3rd lunar month, she finally gave birth to a girl. As she never cried, she was nicknamed Monyang, meaning silent girl. During a visit to a Buddhist sanctuary in the mountains, the sight of an image of Guan Yin in a temple gave the 4-year-old girl spiritual enlightenment and thereby the power to foresee the future. She took a serious interest in the Buddha at the age of 10. At 13, she started to learn magic, which enabled her to tell fortunes and visit places mentally. One day, when Monyang was 16, she was weaving at the family's loom when suddenly she went into a trance. Seeing this, her mother woke her up and would feel sorry for what she did. Turned out that in her dream, she had been trying to rescue her father and brothers caught in a tempest of the sea. As she was awoken too soon, she lost the chance to save her father. Her family tried to console her, for she still had all her brothers who could provide for the family. She also spent time fishing with them to ease the heartache. This lasted until the year 987. By the count of the lunar calendar, it was the 9th day of the 9th month. That is the day of the annual Chongyang festival, when families gather together to hike in the hills and generally enjoy each other's company. True to her name, Monyang, the silent girl, crept out of the house and dived into the waters. Grief-stricken by the loss of her father, she erroneously believed that she could still save him with magic, or else by the force of her arms. While her body perished, it is believed that her spirit rose up to become the immortal Mazu, who will always watch over the people of the sea. Down south from Fujian, China, is the peninsula of Malaysia. Further along are the rich lands of the spice trade. Da Yong Sampan, Da Yong Sampan, Barla Bhutan Tang Bendar China, Sampai Singapura, Da Yong Sampan, Da Yong Sampan, Datung Menda Yong Sampan Sampai ke Singapura, Da Yong, hoi. Row the sampan, let us row the sampan, setting out from far north in China, southward Singapore. Row the sampan, let us row the sampan, and or to row your sampan boat to Singapore. Let's row, hoi. Rowing into Singapore, many traded along the Singapore River. Today, you will find a library at Esplanade there, with a dance collection including The Dancing Master by John Playford. I'm studying Playford, trying to recall all of the dances I've known before. There's Amoroso, also the war brawl, almonds and bossa dances from the north. Yeah, I know it's hard to remember the people we used to be. It's even harder to picture that you're not here next to me. You say it's too late to make it, but is it too late to try? Forget all the time that's been wasted since our bridges burned down. Think back to the nights, the dance halls, bright lights, S.I. paralyzed. Still stuck in that time when we called it love, but even the sun sets in paradise. I'm studying Playford, trying to recall all of the dances I've known before. There's Amoroso, also the war brawl, almonds and bossa dances from the north. Now if the fancy music didn't exist, I would still be dancing it in bliss. All those embellishments confuse me, not just footwork, know what I do mean. So I'm studying Playford, and yet enough of sorrow. Whenever I am feeling low, I look around me and I know there's a place that'll stay within me. Wherever I may choose to go, I will always recall the city, know every street and shore, sail down the river which brings us life, winding through my Singapore. This is home, truly, where alas I can't be, where satay waits for me, where that river always flows. That is home, surely, as my senses tell me. That is where I won't be alone, for COVID there does not much roam. Thank you. And happy birthday to both Malushka and Singapore, who just turned 55. I will not ask Malushka's age because that is rude.
Does she share a birthday with Singapore? Is she as grand as Singapore? Is this what I'm hearing?
Well, it happens on the same weekend.
Well, there it is.
Yeah. So I shared a birthday weekend with Singapore. Singapore was yesterday and I'm today. So close enough.
You're so awesome. A country has to keep up with you.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I learned things about Singapore today, so that makes me happy. I love Fungicational.
I do, except for I was never allowed to use that word when I taught children because
the word edutainment.
Yes. Oh God, it's like the bane of your existence because it's what people do when they don't actually want to do any work and teach any music to children.
But
so
I love Fungicational.
I love the
words.
words.
Takes a lot of work, though.
Yes, the words have been abused by marketing. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, yeah, true.
Oh, okay. All right. Let me go and nod at my roommates, and we will do cake.
Cake.
And then after cake, it will be Greg. So yeah, cake, and then Greg. Not quite. Not quite. Almost. Almost.
I don't know if I can follow cake.
So anytime I see the word cake in exclamation points, I think of Father of the Bride and Martin Short's character. Get the cake, the cake.
Oh my God, I haven't seen that movie in 1,000 years.
I don't know why seeing it in print makes me think of that scene.
Every party has a pool, but that's what he invited you.
I recently finished another replay of both of the Portal games and the whole cake is a lie thing. The great thing that I love about the cake being a lie is all the cake craft that's going on, where like back in the mid 2000s, the cake was a lie, and now the cake is a lie again because of cake craft, where you can turn like a bottle of beer into a cake, and everything is a cake.
To answer your question, Matt,
Still Alive last time.
To answer your question, Matt, the word it's why not both. There's actual cake.
All right, now my roommates are here, so there's cake, and we're gonna slice it, and I'm gonna eat it. So
Are we all gonna sing right now in the beautiful Zoom fashion of not being in sync?
Of horrible latency.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Everybody.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. I think, Ghislaine, I think if we all respond to your countdown, and then we all take off our headphones, we'll actually all do it.
Okay.
Think about
it. All right, here we go. So on.
Or just do one ear.
Which
on
birthday
3,
song?
On 2, 1. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
This is a disaster. Is that what a stroke sounds like?
Yeah.
All right. So
this is your birthday song. It isn't
very long.
All right. I'm gonna flip the video around so that y'all can see me. So I'm gonna. Am I here? Am I here?
All I see is Lee, and we call him fucking Lee because it's a long story. Not because it's fucking, but because it's
Lord fucking me.
Has
Because
nothing
then
to do with it.
I got cake.
It's a cake.
Yeah, it's a cock, it's a cake.
It's a cock.
I think of the Greek, my big fat Greek wedding.
Oh my gosh, another great one. You fixed it. My favorite part
It's a lemon blueberry iced
when
tea
she
cake.
comes back out with the bundt cake and she's got the plant inside, there's an extra in the background and you can barely hear her who goes, "You fixed it."
I didn't know that. That's awesome. It's a fact.
That is a gorgeous cake.
A bunk.
A bunt.
It's a cake.
Oh,
it's a cake.
And make some beautiful cakes. You know what I mean?
Look at those beautiful cakes.
This is actually why we say fucking Lee, because right now none of us get to enjoy that cake.
Fuck you, Lee.
None of us get to eat the cake or fuck Lee.
Fucking Lee. And
Right now, I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting for
a terrible time.
I'm just waiting for a deathly corpse man to come in with a head on the cake, saying, "It's Father's Day."
All right. So,
It's
Father's
Day.
all right. So that was Cake, and now it's time for Greg.
Cake, then Greg. Works for me.
Cake, then Greg.
Oh man, I'm not prepared. I was so busy looking at the cake.
Cake.
All right.
Tell us the story while you set yourself up there.
Oh, I can tell you guys a joke.
No, I'm good. I'm good. Whenever.
All right.
But okay, I want to wish you a happy birthday. First of all, thank you, Danielle, for giving me the opportunity to do the longest song I've ever attempted to sing. So I'm just doing one of them. But it's also a Disney song, so that works too. And yeah, it's a little bit about all of the friends and cake that I am so happy to have made through this. So let's see how this goes. But first, you got to rub the lamp. Go for it. Rub that lamp. There we go. That's kind of like rubbing it. All right, here we go.
That's what she said.
Ski ba 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 ski ba boo ba 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 ski ba ba boo. Can you give me a ba yada yada? Good, scottity wop. Everybody, bibbidi bobbidi boo. Wobble 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 wop. Hit it, ba da ba. Oh my, ba da ba. Oh no, ba da ba. We'll see how this goes. Whew. Well, Alibaba had them 40 thieves, Sherazade had 1,000 tales. But master, you in luck, 'cause up your sleeves you got a brand of magic, never fails. You got some power in your corner now, some heavy ammunition in your camp. You got some punch, pizzazz, yahoo and how. See, all you gotta do is rub that lamp. And I say, Mr. Aladdin, sir, what will your pleasure be? Let me take your order, jot it down. You ain't never had a friend like me. No, no, no. Life is your restaurant, and I'm your maitre d'. Come on, whisper what it is you want. You ain't never had a friend like me. Yes, sir. We pride ourselves on service, but you the boss, the king, the Shah. Say what you wish, it's yours, true dish. How about a little more baklava? There it is. Come on, fellas, help me out. Oh man, it's gonna get wild. Have some of column A, try all of column B. I'm in the mood to help you, dude. You ain't never had a friend like me, and I sell it. Ba-da-ba, oh my, ba-da-ba, oh no, ba-da-ba. Ha! Come on, kid. Can your friends do this? Magic! Can your friends do that? Boom! Can your friends pull this? Have their little hat! What the? Can your friends go poof? Well, look at here! Can your friends go abracadabra? Let her rip and make the sucker disappear. So don't you sit there slack-jaw, buggy-eyed. I'm here to answer all your midday prayers. You got me bona fide certified. You know the genie for your child defense. I got 1,000 loves to help you out. So what you wish? I really wanna know. You got a little that's 3 miles long, no doubt. Well, all you gotta do is rub like so. Come on. Yes! And oh, Mr. Aladdin, sir, have we show 2 or 3? I'm on the job, you big name Bob. You ain't never had a friend like me. So just, you know, there's a lot of dance numbers in this, but it's okay. We got things to do during them. Not gonna leave you hanging. Can your friends do this? Well, something. No, really. Can they? You're welcome. So for the first dance break, we don't have time to do much, so I'm just going to say happy birthday one more time, Danielle. Thank you, Danielle, Ghislaine, Ryan, Intervision Entertainment for giving me the chance to do this incredibly long song with lots of dance breaks while I sit seated here all lazy and stuff. But, you know, we'll have fun.
We love you, Greg.
Oh, maybe our lucky contestant would like to wish for talent or fame. Welcome to Dancing with the Scimitars. Y'all brought your swords, right? No? You didn't bring your swords? Fine.
I brought my axe.
Jokes. We have jokes. A kid finds an old lamp and rubs it. Out comes a genie. The genie says as a thank you for freeing me, I will grant you one wish. The kid goes, oh boy, I wish I could be like Batman. Genie gives a puzzled look and says, all right, kid, if that's what you want, your wish is granted. I just killed both your parents. Ta-da! No? All right, fine. Oh crap, I lost my jokes. Alright, we got time for one more. A man's walking down the beach, he finds a bottle, and he goes and he rubs it in. Oh crap, we're out of time! Shit! Grab old Al by the hand, swim around till he can't stand. Chicken in a basket, sparrow in a tree, you never had a friend like me. Whew, I'd like to bring the house down a little bit. Sing a few old classics. A couple of favorites of mine. Get back to you in a second. Thank you. Tale as old as time. Thank you very much. True as it can be, barely even friends. Mutie and the look at this stuff. Whew, isn't it neat? Ha! Wouldn't you think my collection's complete? Wouldn't you think I'm the genie who has everything? Have you ever seen the wolf cry to the blue corn moon, to whether we are white or copper skin? I want adventure in the great wide, ever just the same, ever a surprise. Though he's sitting here, watch out, disappear right before your eyes. Oh, yes! Not so bad, not so bad. But sadly, there's still one dance break to go. Can your friends do this? Can your friends do that? Pretend. Can your friends do tap? Well, I'm sure everyone on this call knows at least one person who does tap. I am not that person. I can't do tap at all, but I have one more joke. You've all heard this one, I'm going to say it anyways. So a guy walks into a bar one day, can't believe his eyes. There in the corner, there's a 1-foot-tall man in a little tuxedo playing a grand piano. The guy asks the bartender, where'd that guy come from? Bartender's like, there's a genie in the men's room who grants wishes. So the guy runs into the men's room and sure enough, there's this genie there. And the genie's like, your wish is my command. So the guy's like, okay, I wish for world peace. And there's this big poof, cloud of smoke. And the room fills up with geese. So the guy walks out the men's room and he's like, hey bartender, I think your genie might be hard of hearing. Bartender's like, no kidding. You think I wish for a 12-inch penis? Yeah? Better. Can your friends do this? Can your friends do that? Can your friends go abracadabra, let her rip? Oh man, give me a doggy bag, we're taking it home. Mr. Aladdin, sir, have a wish. Or 2 or 3. I'm on the job, you big name bomb. You ain't never had a friend, never had a friend. Never had a friend like me. You ain't never had a friend like me.
Okay, that's the coolest thing I think we've had so far.
What version of that is that?
That's the Broadway version.
Oh, okay, that's super cool.
It's fun, but it's 7 minutes long.
It really is.
The version where James Iglehart almost dies.
I think
Oh my
should have
God.
been cast in the Aladdin remake.
Yeah, screw Will Smith. It should have been this.
Yeah, no, there's only James Monroe Englehart from that. Oh, it was one of my favorite version. It takes commitments to listen to it over and over again.
So it's funny that you asked if we had swords, because I think most of us do. And in fact, I'm actually broadcasting this from the sword room in my house.
Really? You could have. Well, my sword's gone because I threw it across the room. But we could have had a duel. We could have.
I'm 2 feet away from Ryan's sword, but I'm not allowed to touch it.
I have three. I have 3 in my closet, but I have to get past all the laundry. So I'm like, my axe.
Yeah, this
Ryan
is the
just took
Gladius
the
that
sword
lives
away
by the
from
door.
I would
And also
my own.
my hatchet.
And just out of curiosity, how many people on this call know how to tap dance, even a little?
Yes.
A little
bit. Matt and I were in. Matt, you were in Anything Goes with me, right?
No, I was. No, I was graduated by then.
Oh shoot! I thought we learned tap together. Okay, like we learned tap completely separately.
It was probably with Melody. It was probably with Melody because Melody was in that play.
Melody was in that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have an actual.
We did Once in Love with Amy. That's what we did.
Eli, what's up?
I have an actual fencing sword in the corner, like prepared for tournaments and everything.
Like a foil?
No, a saber.
Oh shit! Nice.
Yeah.
I also
we have
a wooden cosplay
Gladius
sword.
by the door, and we have rapiers on the wall, and we have at least one hatchet, probably a couple of axes. Like this is the room where this is the front room, and we live in the kind of neighborhood where sometimes crazy people try to come into your house. So, we put all our weapons in the front room.
we have swords on the mantle, and the thing is, I actually have 2 big hunting knives that my grandfather gave me on my shelf, and somehow being a white guy, I think that would actually be more menacing. If so I was like, look at my knives! It's kind of cool if you have a sword. It's weird if you have knives.
Yep, murder vibes.
A little bit. By the way,
pick.
in case anybody
Make your
is
way
wondering
close.
how the cake is,
Yes.
it's phenomenal. This is really, really good cake.
La-di-da, little miss, I have
Truth
cake.
cake.
I found my weapon.
I mean, it's a lemon cake with blueberries in it and a lemon glaze.
I have a cake.
Well, aren't you fancy with
so
your
special.
fancy cake?
Fancy
Your
and pansy.
birthday cake.
Nobody else gets to
I
have.
had cake. I had a hostess cupcake. Thank you very much.
Well,
Yeah,
speaking of,
you guys can have cake.
I'm caked out. I had 2 cakes for my birthday.
Moratorium
This
on
is
cake.
real.
And I did.
I am 5 minutes from your house. I could have cake.
Let them eat cake.
Yeah, I just gotta wear a mask if you come over.
How are you
Right?
gonna eat a mask and wear the cake? How are you gonna do both at the same time?
So,
I don't know.
I'm creative. So
But,
we have
Ghislaine, do you have something?
I do have something. So many of you know we like to preview Monday's Pet Poetry, and we're very excited about this particular preview because it's the first time that we are showing off Daisy, who is Elizabeth's kitty, and it's also a poem by none other than Eli Quake. So here we go. Oh, can you all hear me since I have the commercial on here? Yeah, nice. Here we go. No, not this.
Ghislaine, you're muted. Are you
Yeah, you're
supposed to be
muted.
Like, are you supposed to be muted?
No, I can't get this song to stop playing.
I can't
my
hear it, so you're
gosh,
not sharing
nothing.
computer audio.
Okay. Oh, that's even better. So
Yeah.
just weird shit was happening or stuff was happening. Okay, let's try that again. Oh my God, that's hilarious. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna do this so you can hear. And I think I'm having a problem with the sound too. Okay. Everyone can see the screen?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, wait, no, now I just see you.
All is well.
Negative.
Eli Quick. All is well.
I still just see you.
We can't see it, honey.
You can't see it?
I hear it vaguely, but don't
see
see
you.
it.
I think we're getting speaker audio on that.
We just see you.
Yeah, we're getting speaker audio, but we can't see you.
All right, hold on.
We see you. We don't see the video.
I have a suggestion. Why didn't you just do a lip read to it?
Then it's not the cat.
Because I'm not as cool as this cat. Okay.
No cat is cooler than you.
Oh,
So while we were waiting, oh, we got it.
Okay, now.
I think we're there.
Yeah,
Now we share screen.
huzzah.
Oh, she's pretty.
Well, by Eli Quick. All is well. All is well. I'm living in hell. No, not hell, but not heaven. An in-between place where I live in disgrace with my disgraceful race. All is well. All is well. Might as well call it hell.
Okay. So did that come through?
We heard it. Quietly.
Quietly, but it was there.
Gosh darn it. Okay, well, that's just going to have to give you all a reason to check out Pet Poetry.
Drop the link.
Hey, Daisy!
I will pop.
And do you want to know where you can check out Pet Poetry?
Yes.
Tell us where.
Well, you can check out Pet Poetry at Intervision Entertainment, which you can find at myaloha.tv or on our YouTube channel, myaloha TV. There, not only can you find more pet poetry, but you can also find scintillating stories, more videos of this open mic night, songs, stories, and stand-up, as well as popular person problems and McGarfield.
Do you just have that podcast ender memorized at this point, or?
Well, what's funny is that's not.
No, I say it differently each time, but I'm really good at doing the voice.
Actually, isn't it Steven who does our ultimate disclaimers?
Yes.
For more shenanigans with
And that
Jeannie and the
was-
rest of the gang, check out Popular Person Problems at, I forget the rest of it. Help take the starving out of starving artists. Also, become a something something. Do we still have the Patreon, actually?
Yes!
We sure do.
Yes, in fact, if you'd like us to not be starving and help pay our writers that contribute to Scintillating Stories, or even better, pay for the technology that supports the podcast. Ryan, we can't hear you.
Ghislaine, would you like to put the Patreon link in the chat?
I shall, while Ryan fixes his microphone. Because he had something pertinent to say. Nope, we still can't hear you.
Have to plug it in
You guys
first.
still have to send me the new spiel so I can memorize it.
Okay. You know, I love it. All right, let me get that Patreon link through my grand technological skills that I do not have.
Ryan, are you available for your comment yet?
The answer is no.
Well, while we are waiting for that comment, I have a joke for you. A priest, a monk, and a rabbit walk into a bar, and the rabbit says, "Gee, I must be a typo."
Ha 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 ha.
I got it.
So if you would like to help us starving artists at Intervision, our Patreon link is quite simply patreon.com/Intervision.
Outstanding, Stephen.
So you got there before me is what you're saying.
I generally get there before most people. I just try not to brag about it.
All right.
Did you have to steal the joke from me, Stevie?
Next performer?
I didn't have to, but I chose to, my love.
Okay.
Are we ready for our next performer?
We certainly are, Miss Danielle. Would you like to announce?
Oh, wonderful. Our next performer is Elizabeth Stockton. Are you ready, Liz?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. Hello. Look at you.
Hi.
Hi.
My connection has been kind of screwy, so I'm sorry if I sound like or anything. So, good. Okay, good. I was mortified that I had to follow Greg's performance. So I was going to tell a story, and then I changed what story I was going to do during Greg's performance. because it was like, okay, I'm going to do something a little more ridiculous. So I'm going to tell you the story. I'm a backup singer for the man who wrote one song. His name is Harvey Sid Fisher. So when I was about 16, which was a very long time ago, I walked into one of those psychic eye bookstores with my Wiccan best friend, Andrew. And we used to dick around in there because there was like nothing of interest for weird kids to do in Thousand Oaks, California. It's like 80% Mormon. There's nothing to do. So there was a psychic eye bookstore and we would dick around in there all the time. So back then in the Stone Age, there were these things called listening stations, which is this thing you could go and you could put headphones on and listen to cassette tapes. And I found this tape. In the cassette tapes, most of them are like pan flute and stuff like that. And I found this tape and it said astrology songs on it. And I was like, what in fresh hell is this thing? So I was excited. And I had to listen to my sign, which is Libra. So it was the first song on side 2 and it was already queued up and it was meant to be. So I'm going to play a little of this song for you.
Live, then maybe might come back for more.
Okay, that's enough. That's enough. You guys understand. Like, you understand when you hear that, the Libra song. So obviously I had to buy this tape. Each song was more awesome than the last song. And I used to play it for my friends. We would laugh our asses off. The tape is one of my prized possessions. I still have it. And inside the tape was this fold out centerfold of the guy who wrote and performed all the music. And let me show you the picture. I don't know. That's the picture. And underneath there's the little box that says autographs here. Inside his tape. So I found the tape in a box and I thought, I wonder if I could actually get the autograph to put under the picture. So I looked Harvey Sid Fisher up on the internet, and this was the dawning of the internet. So I think it was like an Angel Fire page or something. And it was like, it turns out that Harvey Sid Fisher was this basic cable superstar. Like, he used to have a show on basic cable. He made music videos in the 80s for each of the songs, and they each had like this out of focus lady dancer doing interpretive dance to each of the songs, like ballet. It was amazing. It was so good. And it turns out that he also had a weekly gig at this French restaurant near me in Silver Lake, which is like 15 minutes away from me. And I was like, holy shit! I am gonna go and I'm gonna meet the astrology songs guy that I have loved for so long. So I took my best friend and my then boyfriend. And this gig was so magical. Harvey wore this gold sequin suit, a 2-piece suit. He had a full rock band and they were actually really talented. And these 2 backup singers who did these interpretive dances to each of his songs, like the Libra dance goes like this. And Taurus, they go, the bull, you know. And I couldn't get enough of it. And not only that, but Harvey was now in his 70s, and he used to like forget the lyrics to his own songs. He would like sing the same verse 3 times, and the band behind him would like roll their eyes and go, okay, now we're gonna do the second verse for the 3rd time. And it was so much fun to watch. The band was awesome. After the show, I went up to Harvey and I wanted to ask for his autograph. So I brought my little tape insert, and Harvey obliged me, and he was really flirty with me. I was kind of, okay, taken aback. And I was like, well, Harvey, how do you audition for this band? And he goes, can you sing? And I said, yeah. And he goes, you're in the band. So I was in the band, and luckily for Harvey, I had like a decade of choral experience, and I could harmonize, and I was a huge ham. So he was lucky. One of the other backup dancers was this guy, Estefan, who was super flamboyant and was a backup dancer for Elvis, the Mexican Elvis. And he was our choreographer. And soon every week I was doing this gig with him. He also had this album that's entirely songs about golf. And he also has an album called Couples Fighting, which is just duets between him and another girl, and they're fighting about stuff. And my duet that I got to sing with him was called I Want Sex. Oh my God, I fucking loved Harvey so much. He was on a macrobiotic diet. He was the weirdest person in the world. So Harvey used to have this cult following within like actual like famous people, like the Hollywood elite. During my 3-year tenure with Harvey, I got to sing at a rap party for The Daily Show because Stephen Colbert and Liz Winstead were huge fans of him. I got to be on Basic Cable with Neil Hamburger, and I got to sing Harvey's awesome no smoking sign called Kick That Butt. And we got to sing at Shelley Winter's 80th birthday party, which I believe was the year before she passed away. She was a very close friend of Harvey's, and he wrote this song for her called Night Lady. And so they wheeled her up to the stage in her wheelchair, and he wanted her to sing with us, but she refused to put her false teeth in. So she was up on stage with us with no teeth singing. And it was amazing. And at that party also was Shirley Jones. Mrs. Partridge was there. I got to meet her. At the time, I was in a production of Oklahoma playing Ado Annie. And she was like, oh, you get to play the best part. Oh, amazing, because she didn't play that part. And then, this is my favorite gig that I ever had with Harvey Sid, and then I'll wrap up. So we had this gig playing Rebecca Romaine Stamos' birthday party. That was when she wasn't Rebecca Romaine. She was Rebecca Romaine Stamos. Because John Stamos is a huge fan of Harvey Sid Fisher. So this party was at a roller rink. And the stage was in the center of the roller rink. And the show was hosted by this big, hilarious drag queen that some of you might know, named Lady Bunny. Lady Bunny was hosting the show. You could go get a Slurpee at the roller rink. You could go get sushi at the sushi bar they set up. You could go get caviar and a Slurpee. So during the show, John Stamos comes up to the front of the stage and starts dancing and singing to Leo, because that's his song. He's loving Leo Lion. And then during another song, Rebecca Romaine Stamos and her best friend Jenny McCarthy came up to the front of the stage and flashed their fake tits at us. And afterwards, we got to hang out and still stay at the party. So I ended up having this really long conversation with Bob Saget. And he was like, so I have this friend, he's like kind of looking for a date. I might want to hook you up with him. Was Dave Coulier, Uncle Joey from Full House. No! And yeah. But
learn from Alanis, for God's sakes.
I was like, I'm not gonna take Alanis Morissette's sloppy seconds. I don't think so. But so I didn't take that bait, but I did get to say cut it out to him, so I feel good. I feel like So eventually, this is the end of my story. Eventually, my gigs with Harvey ended because he wanted to tour more. If you know who Leslie Hall is, you can look up on YouTube. Him and Leslie Hall singing Islands in the Stream together on tour. Like, he is a legend. And he's still going, and he still posts and sings on Facebook Live, like now, during the pandemic. He's an angel. I never knew what the fuck was going to happen at any of the gigs that I went to with him. And I am so take that leap when this quarantine ends. That's it. And happy birthday, Danielle. And thank you for letting me tell a stupid story. I love you.
Dude, that was not a stupid story at all. That was fantastic.
I am so glad for the mute function because I was losing my shit over here.
That was wonderful. Oh, by the way, Ghislaine, Cameron came over and brought me a bottle of 2-Buck Chuck and a birthday card.
Dirty Uncle Cameron gave you
I mean, it's not 2-Buck Chuck anymore, but it used to be.
Cameron, I love you.
Oh, Shaw.
Oh, I grabbed the right bottle.
It's Charles Shaw. It's 2-Buck Chuck. Or it used to be.
It's probably 3-Buck Chuck now.
Cameron wants to know how you're doing.
We are doing pretty
Cameron
well.
wants to know how you're doing, Ghislaine.
Oh, I miss him terribly. We're doing well because we're making art and that saves my soul. But I miss people.
Yeah. All right.
So I have Matthias's video.
What?
Did you hear that? I have Matthias's video, his recording.
Oh, if you're able to screen share that, I would love it.
We're about to find out if I know how to screen share.
Screen sharing with video is tricky, I'm just warning you, because
Right?
sometimes the bandwidth doesn't really want to handle it, but you can try.
Let's find out. Okay, so it is this. Okay, there we go. And then we press the play. It's not playing for me either, so hold on. Here we go.
Hello, this is my happy birthday song for you. Inspired by 12th century dance music. It's got a Scandinavian edge to it, and I think it sounds very, very hobbity. I hope you enjoy it.
Oh, wow.
Happy birthday, and take care, everyone. Stay safe.
Oh, wow. That
Sick.
right? That was amazing.
Wicked. What is Matthias? Are you here? What is that instrument called?
I'm I'm not sure if he's still here. Hold on. There he is. Matthias, can you hear us?
Yeah, hey, I was just typing the answer to that very query.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's a funny story how I came about it. In looking at like Cantigas de Santa Maria and a lot of period artwork, there's a lot of peculiar instruments depicted that you don't see anymore. And one of the ones I saw was different than what I just played, but the same idea. It was a straight flute with like a big resonant body in the middle of it that had two strings on top of it, and the person playing had a very light thin bow and was bowing these two strings atop this resonant chamber that had a flute basically drilled through the middle of it. And so one hand could do a simple melody, and the two strings would just drone. Usually, I'm assuming, droning a fifth or an octave. That's typical drone for a lot of period music. So starting with that idea of combining a flute with droning resonant strings, I had the Morin Kerr, which is the red instrument, the two-string Mongolian fiddle there. That was like the starting point, and I was getting familiar with playing that instrument. And I thought, hey, this is two big resonant strings, and if I drill a hole in the right place, I can attach my flute to it so that it rests in a nice place. So I can play the flute while bowing the open strings of the fiddle. And then I can change and also fret the strings on the fiddle itself and play the fiddle as the fiddle. I've got some interesting pieces for that. But I've got to make another flute that will drone a big, nice low note that I can kind of blow an accompaniment with the fretting aspect of it. But I call the instrument the lyra tibiae, which is, the tibia is a common name for the old bone flutes, the old straight blown flutes, and then lyra is a general term for any kind of little string instrument from back in the period. So,
Do you have the specs for it?
Kind of a take a Morin Kerr and drill a hole in it and attach a fiddle. I can take more accurate pictures of it and everything else. I don't have specs like per se, because I didn't build it from the scratch up. I was given the Morin Kerr, and then I just adapted the flute to it. I had to make a lot of compensation with the flute because you've only got one hand to play it on. You've only got, your fingers to play. So I've only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 notes. So I want to drill another hole to have another note, and I'm going to need a little lever that I can open a hole with, and then it'll automatically close. I need one automatic, hole closing lever that's a little bit more modern, a little bit more fancy. I'm trying to pin down the date of when they did that in period, because I know they did that in the 1500s, but I can't prove what period earlier they did that. I'm sure. But right now I've only got 6 notes of a scale. So you kind of have to structure your music around not having one of those notes. And I picked the 7th tone as a sacrificial lamb, because for a minor scale, you really need that minor 6th. So you got to give up something. So, and then overblowing, you get the next octave. So you have more range than just 6 notes, but you're still kind of limited. So, but yeah, I'll take some more pics and put them on my Facebook and stuff.
So
to get more detail of it.
I'm more than happy to put you and Matthias in contact with each other, but I'm going to say the same darn thing I've been saying for years now. If you just come to an SCA event, you will get immersed in all the awesomeness that is Matthias.
Ghislaine will be the first one to tell you that, like, if I'm like a crow to a shiny thing whenever I see a new instrument. I'm like, I want to play that. So.
Yes. So we're gonna move on with open mic night, but I'm going to say that thing I've been telling you should do, you should go do it. Like, you will love me hanging out with Matthias for hours by the fire. Well,
when it's not plague time, we'll hook it up.
Yes. All right. So back to you, Danielle. Who's our next victim? I mean, amazing performer.
So speaking of just going and doing it, we have someone who's been really getting involved in storytelling these last couple of months, and I've been enjoying it immensely because he is spreading his wings and stretching his talents and abilities, and I applaud that very much. So let's give it up for Ryan Phillips.
Can everybody hear me now? Okay, good to go. I had I had to actually switch out microphones because my computer decided it did not want to cooperate. And so, Matthias, I totally understand where you're coming from with that. All right, and without further ado, we're going to shift a little bit and go. We have been exploring the Arabian deserts recently, and now we're going to move a little bit north. And I'm going to do what I normally do. It was a common enough question. How was the Great Wall constructed? I shall tell you. To begin at the beginning, above is Niflheim, covered with ice and snow. Below lies Muspel, a world seething in fire and flames. Between was a vast emptiness. How these came to be, none living now know. Venomous water came from a spring in Niflheim and flowed into this emptiness, freezing again and again, layer after layer of ice and grim frost. Hot winds from Muspel blew over the ice, causing it to thaw and drip. Life began in these drops and took the form of Ymir, a vast giant, the first of the Jotunheim. As Ymir slept, he sweated. Creatures grew out of the ooze from under his left armpit, and one of Ymir's legs fathered a six-headed son on the other leg, and thus Ymir was the forerunner of all Jotunheim. Some of the other melting ice took the form of a cow, as great before her kind as Ymir was before mortal men. 4 rivers of milk ran from her, enough to nourish Ymir. She fed off the ice, licking salty blocks. Her licking formed one of the blocks into the shape of a man, and under her hot breath the shape became animated, and the man became Buri, walked out of the ice. Buri had a son called Bor, who married Bestala, daughter of Ymir. They produced 3 sons, Odin, Vili, and Vi. The sons of Bor had no more use for Ymir and his growing family of brutish Jotun. They tracked and attacked Ymir. So much blood flowed from his body that it drowned the other Jotun, except for Bolgamar and his wife, who rode out a hollowed log floating on the Sea of Gore. All Jotun today descend from them. Odin, Vili, and Vi took Ymir's body to the center of the void. From that they made the world. His flesh became the earth. His unbroken bones became the mountains. From his teeth and bone fragments they made rocks and stones. They used his blood to make the lakes and oceans encircling the world. They raised Ymir's skull over the earth to make the sky. Glowing embers from Muspel were thrown into the sky to make the sun, the moon, the stars, and the planets. Ymir's brains became the clouds, and his eyebrows were used to make the fortifications around the world to protect against the Jotun. From inside this fortification of Midgard became the realm of men. Finally, the 3 brothers built their own realm, Asgard, the mighty stronghold, with its green plains and shining palaces high above Midgard. They built the rainbow bridge to the Bifrost to link Asgard to Midgard, and the Azure, guardians of men, crossed the bridge and settled in their home of Asgard. Before Odin Allfather, greatest and oldest of them, a master builder presented himself. He offered to build a fortification around Asgard that would secure him against the Jotun, even should they come from the direction of Midgard. The builder promised to complete this job in 3 seasons, and as payment, he demanded Freya to be his bride and to receive the sun and the moon. Such a price, of course, would never be paid. But when the gods assembled in council, Loki came up with a counteroffer. He proposed that the builder would receive his payment if he completed the job in one season and did so without assistance. The builder's payment would be forfeit if the job was not completed on the first day of summer. Such a feat was impossible, a ludicrous counteroffer to an absurd request before finding a proper bargain. One by one, Loki convinced all in Asgard of the plan. Loki returned from his haggling with a deal. The builder agreed to the offer if he could use his stallion, Sifildfari, to help him on the job. Loki convinced the other gods to accept this offer and to make their world safe from being attacked by the Jotun. Oaths were made and witnesses were invoked to bind the agreement. On the first day of winter, the builder started his work. By night, he hauled stones with his great stallion, and by day he set the stones in place. All of the Azure were amazed at how quickly the work progressed, and at the end of the winter, the walls were so high they were impregnable. 3 days before the beginning of summer, and only the entrance of the walled fortification remained to be completed. The gods assembled in council to decide what was to be done. It was clear by this time the builder must be Jotun. No one else could have completed this work so quickly, and the thought of losing not only the sun and the moon, but Freya to the Jotunheim was too much to bear. Something had to be done. The gods, to a one, agreed. The person most responsible for this decision was Loki. They declared Loki would face death if he did not devise some scheme to cause the builder to forfeit this payment. That evening, as the builder drove his mighty stallion out for more stone, Loki, in the guise of a mare, ran out from the woods toward the stallion and neighed at him. When the horse realized what sort of creature the mare was, he went wild with desire. He tore apart his harness and chased after her. The mare that was Loki ran into the woods with the stallion close behind, and the builder chased after the two of them, trying to catch up with the pair. All night long, the three tore through the woods. The next day, much of the work was not completed. When the builder realized the job was not going to be completed on time, he fell into a great rage, raised his axe, and attacked the gods for their trickery. The Ymir could now see the battle had begun, and called upon Thor to pay the Jotunheim his due. Thor paid off the warrior with a blow from his great hammer Mjolnir, shattering its skull into fragments and sending him down to Niflheim. A number of months passed before Loki was seen again. His romp with the stallion had resulted in him giving birth to a foal, and he returned to Asgard leading the colt. The colt was gray, had 8 legs, and was given to Odin to become the greatest horse among the gods and men. And thus it was the Great Wall of Asgard, mightiest stronghold in the 9 realms, came to be. Yay. The end.
Well barded.
That was
That
great.
was absolutely fabulous, honey. I was trying to not pop on and come across as the biased wife that I am, but
Is that the Neil Gaiman?
I am here telling you you're amazing.
Ryan, what version are you working off of?
I am not sure. That is from I pulled that from a university paper.
Okay, that's still really cool. Like just the whole Norse creation myth. It's very cool.
Yeah, most of that's from a university paper, and then I actually rewrote most of it myself. So most of that narrative is me.
He was busy editing all day.
All right, and back to Danielle.
All right. So I put my 2-buck chuck that Cameron brought out in the kitchen, and I got a sneaky peek at supper. And let me tell you, supper smells amazing because Lee, you know what Lee is doing, right? For dinner, he's taking potatoes and he is boiling them, and then he is mashing them. And
is he also sticking them in a stew?
Yes.
Oh, I thought he was making cottage pie.
Well, it's upside down cottage pie. He's making mashed potatoes and then he's putting chicken stew over top.
Oh, so it's more of a chicken pie.
Yeah.
Cottage means beef there.
Okay. Well, it's like an upside down chicken pie because it's potatoes with stew on top of it. So yeah, he's taking potatoes and boiling them and mashing them and sticking them in a stew, and they're absolutely lovely and they smell amazing. And I brought out the barley wine. It is a bourbon barrel-aged barley wine. Well, actually, it's not even bourbon. It's regular barrel. Oh, no, bourbon. It is a bourbon barrel-aged English-style barley wine.
Ooh,
and it is lovely.
Nice.
It is like dessert in a bottle. So,
wish you could pass that over.
Yeah. Well, no, you're allergic by proxy.
Oh, yeah.
You know, my allergies pretty much make
Yeah, bourbon has corn. But anyway, yeah, so Lamar, are you here? Lamar?
Hello.
Hi,
Lamar.
Hello. Oh, I
guess it's
We
my
are
turn.
ready for you, Lamar.
Dope. Because I am not a writer or as talented as the rest of you, I'm going to sing 2 songs.
Oh, darn, you're going to share your fabulous voice with us.
Expectations? Okay. Both of these are from musicals of some sort. Can y'all hear the music?
Are you sharing computer audio?
Yes, but it should be through my microphone. Can you guys not hear it?
No, I got nothing.
Give me 1 second. Because I'm full stupid. Give me a second. Good now? Yay, settings. I close my eyes and I can see a world that's waiting up for me that I call my own. Through the dark, through the door, through where no one's been before, but it feels like home. They can say it all sounds crazy. They can say I've lost my mind. I don't care, so call me crazy. We can live in a world that we design. 'Cause every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head. A million dreams are keeping me awake. I think of what the world could be, a vision of the one I see. A million dreams, it's all it's gonna take. A million dreams in the world we're gonna make. Sorry. There's a house we can build. Every room inside is filled with wish from far away. Special things I compile, each one there to make you smile on a rainy day. They can say it all sounds crazy. They can say we lost our minds. I don't care if they call us crazy. Run away to a world that we design. Every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head. A million dreams are keeping me awake. I think of what the world could be, a vision of the one I see. A million dreams is all it's gonna take. A million dreams, the world we're gonna make. However big, however small, let me be part of it all. Share your dreams with me. You may be right, you may be wrong, but say that you'll bring me along to the world you see. To the world I close my eyes to see. I close my eyes to see. Every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head. A million dreams are keeping me
A million dreams, a million dreams. I think of what the world could be. A vision of the one I see. A million dreams is all it's gonna take. A million dreams for the world we're gonna make. For the world we're gonna make.
Wow! Wow! Holy crap! This is why you are way better than Russell Crowe in everything. I know that wasn't Russell Crowe that does that, but like it reminded
Hugh
me
Jackman.
of the last song that you did. Yeah, but no, this reminds me of the last song that he did. That was a Russell Crowe song, and he did way better than Russell Crowe.
Oh, thank you very
because
much.
he's so awesome. You're welcome.
And with... Oh, no.
You got your other one?
Yes, I have another one. And respect to time, let's keep going.
All right.
That is just the opening. Okay. I've learned this song once, so bear with me. Learn to slam on the brake before I even turned the key, before I made the mistake, before I lead with the worst of me. Give them reason to stare. No slipping up if you slip away. So I got nothing to share. No, I've got nothing to say. Step out of the sun if you keep getting burned. Step out of the sun because you've learned, On the outside, always looking in, will I ever be more than I've always been? 'Cause I'm tapping on the glass. I'm waving through the window. Oh, I try to speak, but nobody can hear. So I wait around for an answer to appear while I'm watching people pass. I'm waving through a window. Oh, can anybody see? Is anybody waving back at me?
You're listening to KTV Entertainment Channel.
We start the stars in our eyes. We start believing that we belong, but every sun doesn't rise, and no one tells you where you went wrong. Step out of the sun if you keep getting burned. Step out of the sun because you've learned, On the outside, always looking in, will I ever be more than I've always been? 'Cause I'm tapping on the glass. I'm waving through a window. Oh, I try to speak, but nobody can hear. So I wait around for an answer to appear while I'm watching people pass. I'm waving through a window. Oh, can anybody see? Is anybody waiting? When you're falling in a forest and there's nobody around, do you ever really crash or even make a sound? When you're falling in a forest and nobody's around, do you ever really crash or even make a sound? When you're falling in a forest and there's nobody around, do you really make a or even make a sound? When you're falling in a forest and there's nobody around, do you even really crash or even make a sound? Did I even make a sound? Do I even make a sound? Was I never made a sound? Will I ever make a sound? On the outside, always looking in, will I ever be more than I've always been? 'Cause I'm tapping on the glass. I'm waving through a window. Oh, trying to speak, but nobody can hear. So I wait around for an answer to appear while I'm watching people pass. I'm waving through a window. Oh, can anybody see? Is anybody waving back at me? Is anybody waving? Thank you.
Lamar, that was fantastic. In fact, while I was listening to you on my headphones, my roommate was like, "Hey, you're jamming out over there," and I'm like, "Yeah, this guy's really good." And so I took off my headphones, and she thinks you're really good too.
Yeah.
I missed it. What is that from?
Second one was Dear Evan Hansen. It's their big
anthem.
Big anthem, yeah.
Yeah. Very cool.
That was great. Ooh, all right. So next, Eli, do you have something for me?
I do have something for you. And first of all, happy birthday, gorgeous.
Eli.
So I have
All right.
two poems.
Poems.
Yes, and the first one I wrote just today, and it does not have a name yet, so I'm not going to say what it's called. But they both have a theme, and the theme is the wind. So I will just start since this one doesn't have a name. So I grew up in a land where the winds blew wild, pushing and pulling and calling my name, out through the doorway and into the desert to run through the sands and was ever the same. Now I am grown and I live somewhere tamer, where everything moves at a more sedate pace. The wind does not scream and the sands do not blow, and I'm not as wild and wear a calm face. Sometimes I long for the child who's running, free with the wind and their tangle of hair. Sometimes I think I am better far from it, free to become who I am, far from there. Sometimes the wind howls as though it is searching. Sometimes I can hear it calling my name. Sometimes I think that I should be running, wild with the wind, and was ever the same. I think that I will always be pushing and pulling, some part of me wild, some part of me tame. For I am the fickle breeze that is blowing. I am the thing that is calling my name. And then I have a...
I want to interject real quick how much I love your writing.
Oh, thank you, Ghislaine. And
I agree, but I want to hear more.
All right, so this is, if you have been paying attention to Scintillating Stories, a few weeks ago we did a story of mine called Children of the Sky. And this is a poem that will be featured at a future date in another story. But it is delivered by the god Zefiev, who is the god of the wind and the god of song. So this is just simply titled Myth. When Father Earth was young and Mother Sky was new, when the winds roamed free, a volcano once grew. Small, yes, at first, but with every passing year, it grew all the land that you still see here. One day when it had reached up so high that it scraped the bottom of dear Mother Sky, a great boom, a flash, lightning and thunder crash, and Father Earth fell into darkness and ash. For 100 years and more, the Father Earth slept, and down through the ashen rock, Mother Sky wept. In the enormous crater where the volcano had been, a puddle formed and grew, and the sea filled in. And on the crater's peaks, glaciers and snow formed, and the face of Father Earth froze, then warmed. When at last the smoke cleared, and Mother Sky grew still, in the void of Mother Sky, the stars did fill. And I am glad to say Uncle Sun and Auntie Moon showed their round faces, and none too soon. For the ash that had fallen from Mother Sky became the first life forms, and the wind wondered why. Until one night a rock fell to Father Earth, and a baby lay like Mother Sky had given birth. And the humankind they took him in to raise. They gave him love and they gave him praise. And when he had grown, he caught a falling star. But now, I fear, I have told too far. For some tales are not for mortals to hear. But believe me when I say that you need not fear. For the wind remembers the eldest days, when there was naught but fire and haze. And I, Zefiev, god of wind and song, would tell these tales before the night is long. For the wind whispers to me, and I now to you. But you, mortal child, should try to sleep, so do.
Oh, wow.
That was so
Knowing the
good.
context. Whew.
Well done.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Eli, we are so blessed to have you in our ragtag little Muppety group.
So yeah, that was great, Eli. I was super, super stoked to hear that. So Ghislaine promised me a special guest, but I think I figured out who it is because I've been looking at him. So,
like to announce
special
that?
guest. Wolfman Dave.
Oh.
Where are you?
All right. Well, I'm here. So I have kind of a number of things sort of ready, and I suppose I'll begin by asking: am I limited by number of pieces, or am I limited by time?
You have 8 minutes.
Okay.
You have 8 minutes.
Starting with the explanations of things.
Okay. Well, my next question is anybody even passingly familiar with the 90s cartoon show Transformers Beast Wars?
Duh.
Okay. Because I actually, one of the little projects that I have decided to start is taking, and the second thing that I have for you is a birthday song, so that's ready for you, and sort of a project that I want to work on to test both my musicianship and my voice acting ability is to take, classic show tunes and stuff like that and completely change who sings them and like the character singing them. So I took the character Megatron from Beast Wars and I gave him a parody of Poor Unfortunate Souls from Little Mermaid. And for context to all the rest, the general idea is that you've seen something of Transformers. This version of Megatron went back in time in order to kill Optimus Prime so that he could change the future and make it one that he could rule. So this is, and the Transformer soul is called a Spark, so this is Poor Unfortunate Spark. And tell me if you can hear this, okay? I'm just gonna kind of put this here. There we go. On my ship into the past, I launched a voyage to secure a treasure trove of energon. Though the mission may be true, what I kept from all my crew was the secret mission from old Megatron. Oh, yes. Oh, this energon was tantamount to magic, and a resource that I knew I must possess. There's a problem to be solved when an Autobot's involved, and it's time to trim the timeline of excess, namely you. Poor unfortunate Spark, asleep in time. If you want to know my mission, what I came here to destroy, well, I'll tell you, it's just Prime. Poor unfortunate Spark, here ends my quest. The Decepticons shall transform and rise up to take the stars. Shall I lead them? Why, yes. Now we haven't long to wait, and I shouldn't hesitate to take my moment here above the ark. By the fusion in my fist, you no longer exist, you poor unfortunate Spark. I am that which is, that which was, and that which is yet to come. And you shall know my name is Megatron when I lay my vengeance upon you. Dinobot.
You have already read the Covenant of Primus.
Only the good parts. And here's where we fast forward to Beast Machines, and I don't have all the dialogue worked out for this bit, so I'm going to skip real quick. And this is the dark future that Megatron has created. The future that I've made isn't for all bots. I think a bot with free will is a pest. While you're out here causing riots, I do think the peace and quiet of a horde of soulless drones is for the best. Under the heel of my relentless subjugation, you'll be ground into a pile of shattered glass. I'm a god, to say the least. On my worst day, I'm the beast. I will crush you like I did back in the past. Come on, you poor unfortunate Spark. I'll cut you down to size. If my sleeves don't get the job done, then I'll get it done myself, Megatron. terrorize, you poor unfortunate spark. But join me in the pit. The time has come to win the soul of all of Cybertron. I'll rip out your soul and turn you into a mindless vehicle. Thrust and Jetstorm, now I've got them. The future's looking stark for these poor unfortunate sparks. So that's my nerdy Disney Transformers crossover. And if you'll permit me, I have a quick little birthday song for you.
Okay.
There was a performer named Nice Peter. He does the epic rap battles of history, and he and I kind of came up together in musical comedy around the same time, and he's the one who went on to make something of himself. And so because he's the one with all the success, I feel free to steal all of his stuff. So this is a little dirty, this song. The guitar coming through okay? It's your special day, my dear. I should get you a gift. But baby, I ain't got no money to buy you presents with. I try so hard to save, but I got a shitty job. What can I say? Happy birthday. I cooked you some noodles. Happy birthday. I stole a spoon for you. Oh, baby. I wrapped up a hug. Found a box for my love. 'Cause it's all I got for you. Now listen to the story now, baby. I get so discouraged by all those ads on TV that say I gotta buy you diamonds to make sure you still love me. I say, go fuck 'em. Come on, baby, let me be your best friend. I'll give you the kiss that begins with C. Happy birthday. I cooked you some ramen. Happy birthday. You can have the rest of my French fries. Oh, baby. I wrapped up a hug. Found a box for my love. 'Cause it's all I got for you. Now listen to the story now. Everybody's gonna try to tell you I'm cheap, but they don't know me like you do. I only work 3 days a week, but that's just more time that I can spend with you. Happy birthday. I made you some noodles. Happy birthday. I don't need the sweatshirt. You can keep it, baby, and you can be warm all year long. Oh, baby. I wrapped up a hug. Found a box for my love. Come on, babe, don't let's part. I tie a ribbon around my heart. I wrapped up a hug. Found a box for my love. 'Cause that's all I got for you. And also, can I borrow $5? Yeah.
Okay, so my roommate is loving you too as well.
So, yeah, happy birthday.
Thank
Made
you.
sure that was ready for you.
I miss you, Wolf.
That was fantastic. I was totally fangirling over here, and so was my roommate. We were just having a great time listening to. So before we get to Movie Matt, who is going to come back and give us The Raven, which is really awesome, I just wanted to show you guys my supper because supper is ready now. So for supper, which I think I switched the camera. Yep, there it is. So supper, we have this beautiful chicken stew. It's got chicken and carrots, and mushroom salad, and all the delicious wonderful things that belong in the chicken stew. We put it over potatoes. So you boil them and get mashed, and you stick them in the stew. And that's the supper. Have a early one. And it's going to be fantastic. And now I'm going to come back over here and switch my camera back around so it's facing me again. I'm going to plug my phone back in, and Movie Matt is going to recite a poem for me. Yeah. Well, not just me. He's going to recite it for everybody. I'm not that selfish. Movie Matt, are you here?
Yes, I am. Can everyone hear me?
And then there's one more performer after you. Oh, two, technically, because Danielle closes us out.
Can everyone hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, just checking. Once upon a midnight dreary, while I pondered, weak and weary, over many a quaint and curious volume of forgotten lore, as of some of one gently rapping at my chamber. Sorry, let me start over again. Take two. Missed the line. Okay. Boop. Once upon a midnight dreary, while I pondered, weak and weary, over many a quaint and curious volume of forgotten lore, while I nodded, nearly napping, suddenly there was a tapping, as of someone gently rapping at my chamber door. Only this, 'tis some visitor, I muttered, tapping at my chamber door. Only this, and nothing more. Ah, distinctly I remember, it was in the bleak December, and each separate dying ember brought its ghost upon the floor. Eagerly I wished, on the morrow, vainly I had to borrow, for the rare and radiant maiden whom the angels named Lenore, nameless here, forevermore. And the silken, sad and certain rustling of each purple curtain thrilled me, filled me with fantastic terrors never felt before, so that now, to still the beating of my heart, I stood repeating, 'tis some visitor, entreating entrance at my chamber door. Some late visitor entreating entrance at my chamber door. This it is, and nothing more. Presently my soul grew stronger, hesitating, then no longer. Sir, said I, or madam, truly forgiveness I implore. But the fact is I was napping, and so gently you came rapping, and so faintly you came tapping at my chamber door, that I scarce was sure I heard you. I opened the white door. Darkness there, and nothing more. Deep into that darkness peering, long I stood, wondering, fearing, doubting, dreaming dreams no mortal ever dared to dream before. But the silence was unbroken, and the stillness gave no token, and the only word there spoken was the whispered word, Lenore? This I whispered, and an echo murmured back the word, merely this, and nothing more. Back into the chamber turning, all my soul within me burning, soon again I heard a tapping, somewhat louder than before. Surely, said I, surely that is something at my window lattice. Let me see, then, what threat is, what thereat is, and this mystery explore. Let my heart be still a moment, and this mystery explore. 'Tis the wind, and nothing more. Open here I flung the shutter, when, with a many a flirt and flutter, in there stepped a stately raven of the saintly days of yore. Not the least obeisance made he, not a minute stooped or stayed he, but with mine of lord or lady, perched above my chamber door, just upon a bust of Pallas, just above my chamber door, perched and sat, and nothing more. Then this ebony bird beguiling my sad fancy smiling, by the grave and stern decorum of the countenance it wore. Through thy crest be shorn and shaven, thou, I said, art sure no craven? Ghastly, grim, and ancient raven, wandering from the nightly shore. Tell me what thy lordly name is on the night's plutonium shore. Quoth the raven, nevermore. Much I marvel this ungainly fowl to fear discourse so plainly, though its answer little meaning, little relevance bore. For we cannot help agreeing that no living human being, yet every yet was blessed with seeing bird above his chamber door. Bird or feast upon the sculpted bust above his chamber door, with such a name as Nevermore. Sorry, page turn. But the raven, sitting lonely on the placid busk, spoke only that one word, as if his soul in that one word he did outpour. Nothing further than he fluttered, not a feather then he fluttered, till I scarcely more than muttered, other friends have flown before, on the morrow he will leave me, as my hopes have flown before. Then the bird said, startled at stillness, broken by reply so aptly spoken. Doubtless, said I, what utters is its only stock and store, caught from some unhappy master whom unmerciful disaster caught, followed fast, and followed faster till his songs one burden bore, to the dirges of his hope that melancholy bore of nevermore. But the raven still beguiling of my sad fancy into smiling, straight I wheeled a cushioned seat in front of bird and bust and door. Then, upon the velvet sinking, I betook myself linking, fancy unto fancy, thinking what this ominous bird of yore, with what this grim, ungainly, ghastly, gaunt, and ominous bird of yore, meant in croaking nevermore. This I sat engaged in guessing, but no syllable expressing the fowl whose fiery eyes now burned into my bosom's core. This and more I sat divining, with my head at ease reclining on the cushion's velvet lining that the lamplight gloated o'er, but whose velvet violet lining with the lamplight gloating o'er she shall press, nevermore. Then, methought, the air grew denser, perfumed from an unseen censer, swung by seraphim whose footfalls tinkled on the tuft floor. Wretched, I cried, by God hath lent thee, by these angels he hath sent thee, respite and nephin from the memories of Lenore. Quaff this kind deafened thing, and forgot this lost Lenore. Quoth the raven, prophet, said I, thing of evil, prophet still, if bird or devil, whether tempest sent, or whether tempest tossed thee here ashore, desolate, yet all undaunted, on this desert and land enchanted, on this home by horror haunted. Tell me truly, I implore, is there balm of Gilead? Tell me, tell me, I implore. Quoth the raven, nevermore. Prophet, said I, thing of evil, prophet still, if bird or devil, by that heaven that bends above us, by that God we doth both adore, tell this soul with sorrow laden, if, with the distant Aidenn, it shall clasp a sainted maiden, whom the angels named Lenore, clasp a rare and radiant maiden, whom the angels named Lenore. Quoth the raven, nevermore. By that word, our sight and parting bird and fiend, I shrieked, upstarting, get thee back into the tempest and the night's platonic shore. Leave no black plume as a token of that lie thy soul hath spoken. Leave my loneliness unbroken. Quit the bust above my door. Take thy beak from out my heart, and take the foreman off my door. Quoth the raven, nevermore. And the raven, never flitting, still is sitting on the pallid bust of Pallas just above my chamber door. And his eyes have all the seeming of a demon's that is dreaming. And the lamplight o'er him streaming throws a shadow on the floor, and my soul from that out that shadow that flies floating shall be lifted. End scene.
Oh, that was awesome. I'll give you a tip though. Never say end scene to your own scene.
Okay, I won't. Noted.
Oh my gosh, that was
What she
fantastic.
said.
That was my first time reading
So,
the way through.
I just want to brag about these potatoes.
See, now I gotta say the phrase, guys. Everybody join me. Fucking Lee. Right?
Oh, you got a fucking Lee out of here.
That's how you know it's friendship. I love you, Lee.
I got taters.
You got taters.
Enjoy.
All right.
Potatoes.
Well, I guess it's my
Boil them, mash them, put them, boil them in a stew.
Okay, everyone. Well, it is my turn to rock the mic. I actually asked Danielle what she'd like me to sing because she normally is really good at pushing my boundaries and inspiring me to sing different things. But her only wish for tonight's show was that I get all of you to come and perform. I'm not sure what that means, but I'll take it.
You're welcome.
So what I did was I picked a song that is absolutely 100% not related to anything we sing, or how I feel about Danielle or anything like that. I just decided to go for the fact that I know she wants me to sing more in my blues voice. So here we go. First, turn the sound up. Okay. It's a slow karaoke track. There we go. Billy wears a peaches son, and when his daddy went visiting, he come along. When they gathered around and started talking, that's when Billy would take me walking. Through the backyard we go walking. Then he looked into my eyes. Lord knows to my surprise, the only one who could ever reach me was the son of a preacher man. The only boy who could ever teach me was the son of a preacher man. Yes, he was. He was. Ooh, yes, he was. Being good isn't always easy, no matter how hard I tried. When he started sweet talking to me, come and tell me everything is alright. He kiss and tell me everything is alright. Can I get away again tonight? The only one who could ever reach me was the son of a preacher man. The only boy who could ever teach me was the son of a preacher man. Yes, he was. He was. Yes, he was. How well I remember the look that was in his eyes, spilling kisses for me on the slide, taking time to make time. Tell me that he's all mine. Learning from each other's knowing, looking to see how much we've grown. And the only one who could ever reach me was the son of a preacher man. The only boy who could ever teach me was the son of a preacher man. Yes, he was. He was. Ooh, yes, he was. He was a sweet talking son of a preacher man. Ooh, the son of a preacher man. He was a sweet talking son of a preacher man. All right.
So Lee was singing along to that.
Sorry.
It was great.
That's okay. I can't hear you, Lee. That was awesome.
I'm embarrassed.
No, I was happy with Lee singing along because that just makes me feel good. So go ahead.
So I have two more little things for you. The next thing is
All right, little
proof that I've been working on my skills.
Look like a monkey, and you smell like one too.
Is that the one that I gave you?
Yes.
Is that the kazoo I gave you?
This is
Yay.
Lou. This is Lou the
It's
kazoo.
your special silver kazoo to go with my gold kazoo.
And his name is Lou.
Lou the kazoo. I love Lou the kazoo.
Yes. Actually, my favorite thing.
Don't get ahead of yourself there, Lou.
Exactly. And
let's not get ahead of ourselves, Lou.
My favorite part is watching Ryan occasionally pick up Lou and try to play Lou and nothing happens. It's like totally my fave.
Exactly. Kazoo is not my thing.
Okay, the final thing I have is I wrote a little poem on this very day. I know a little halfling, a hobbit, if you will, who likes to eat potatoes and bread and cheese and dill, and roast beef with lots of gravy, and wine and beer and tea. And while she's skilled at cooking, she lives with a chef named Lee. This hobbit's cute and funny, and wow, that gal can sing. She wields a heavy weapon and is fond of shiny things. But don't mistake her for a goblin, for her pallor is not green. Her place is mostly tidy. Her ukulele has 6 strings. I love this little hobbit and her little hobbit ways. And I think I love it most of all when we sing throughout the day. This poem is quite silly. Do not take me seriously. It's Vash who loves his auntie girlfriend and writes the poetry. To Danielle, I share this toast. Friends, please raise your chosen glass. Cheers to you, our favorite hobbit, and to all, please wear your masks.
And wash your damn hands.
I'm drinking a Stone Delicious IPA, and they printed the label upside down.
That's awesome.
Happy times.
So Vash started howling at the end of that poem. I just want you to know.
You heard.
Yes.
Aw, well, that's because he wants to write poems for me.
He does. He's like, no, mommy, I'm better.
He really is.
Can I bother with one more
that was an
birthday?
insult, and I'm sorry, I didn't mean that, but yeah.
What, Matt? You've gone way over time. What do you want? What do you want, darling?
Can I bother with one last birthday song for
Is it very short?
Very short.
Okay.
He's everything I want to know. Optimistic. Well, also, just notice something. Like, this is a very social.
Thank you, Beaker. That was lovely.
Thank you.
So, I don't know, did I show you guys my barley wine? It's really good. Apparently, my roommate's friend works at Resident Brewing and, like, bottled it one day, and so it's mine. I mean, I paid money for this, but I could get another one. So. Yeah.
Bring it home, Danielle.
All right. I think we are ready for the done times. So I'm going to turn around and ask everybody to please be quiet for like 2 minutes. All right. Thank you. All right. Show's over. I got a song for y'all. Crossed the highway late last night. Should've looked left and should've looked right. Didn't see the station wagon car. skunk got squashed, and there you are, you got your dead skunk in the middle of the road. Dead skunk in the middle of the road. Dead skunk in the middle of the road, and he's singing a high heaven. Take away from me, that ain't no road. Roll up your window and hold your nose. You don't have to look and you don't have to see, 'cause you can feel it in your olfactory. You got your dead skunk in the middle of the road. Dead skunk in the middle of the road. Dead skunk in the middle of the road, and it's singing a high heaven. Yeah, you got your dead cat and you got your dead dog. On the moonlit night, you got your dead toad frog. Got your dead rabbit and your dead raccoon. Blood and the guts, they gonna make you swoon. You got your dead skunk in the middle. Dead skunk in the middle of the road. Dead skunk in the middle of the road. Singing a high heaven. Of course, here in Southern California, or just in California in general, certain things are legal now, and that makes things a whole lot easier, especially for us wee hobbits who like to enjoy herbal remedies. So I wrote an extra verse. I call it the San Diego verse. When it's late at night and you're looking for a treat, you got a munchies and you need to eat. Walking around in your cloud of funk, but we both know that it ain't no skunk. You got your dead skunk in the middle of the road, you're smoking. Dead skunk in the middle of the road, you're smoking. Good skunk in the middle of the road, and it's singing a high heaven. Come on, sing. Hey, don't leave us just hanging here. Puff, puff, pass, bitches. You know, I might be a hobbit and I have eaten all day, but I'm still thinking that it might be time for more dessert. So, peace out, motherfuckers. Good night, everybody.
Yes! Thank you so much, everyone, for coming. Thank you, Danielle, for sharing your birthday with us. Open mic nights are always special. Have you share your birthday with us was even more awesome.
Oh, that was fantastic and fun, and I really like showing off all of my dinner and everything, because that makes me happy.
Your dinner and your supper.
Oh, but oh yeah, my dinner and my supper. Oh my goodness. Taters.
I'd like to take a minute to thank my mother-in-law for putting up with all of the swearing in this very adult performance that we have every Sunday.
Sorry, Mrs. Phillips.